Shifting focus to more developments, India and Saudi Arabia have held a bilateral meeting to boost ties in the chemicals and petrochemical sector as well. The talks focused on trade, investment and new areas of partnership for industrial growth and sustainable development. India's delegation was led by Secretary Nivedita Shukla Verma, while Saudi Arabia was represented by Vice Minister Khalil bin Salama. Saudi Arabia is India's fourth largest trade partner, with bilateral trade reaching $41.88 billion in 2024-25 financial year. Chemicals and petrochemicals made up nearly 10% of that. Both sides have noted complementaries: Saudi Arabia's strength in petrochemicals and India's in specialty chemicals. Discussions have included investments in India's PCPIRs, collaboration on R&D and skill development as well. Both nations have reaffirmed their commitment to a long-term sustainable partnership in the sector. With us on the broadcast is Ms. Shruti Das Gupta, International Affairs expert, joining us from New Delhi. Thank you so much for taking our time and speaking to us on NewsX World. To add more context to what we're seeing, it's very interesting that these fresh talks have taken place, focusing on trade, investment, but at large, the petrochemical sector as well. We've seen Aramco sort of investing a lot of money in India. That's not all. Simultaneously, we've also seen Indian imports of Russian oil and the share of Russian oil rise up after the 2022 war commenced and Saudi Arabia's share decrease. How do you think this meeting could be addressing that, and what can we expect in the future?
Greetings, Priya. Thank you so much for inviting me. From what I understand, this is not the only development we've had with Saudi Arabia. There was a deal announced yesterday as well, where they spoke about man-made fibers and textiles as well. So this shows a growing cooperation with Saudi Arabia on more than one front, not just chemical and petrochemical only. And it also emphasizes that India is looking for larger markets, while Saudi Arabia is looking to explore more specific areas which go beyond just their oil-based economy. So for both the nations, this is good news. With hopefully with the peace summit, the Middle East would see a period of peace if possible, and beyond that there might be an increase in trade. And Saudi Arabia plays an important role in the IMEC plans of India, which allows it to deal with Europe and Central Asia without having to look for a passage that involves either China and its BRI initiatives or Pakistan and its interruptive policies. So for India, the collaboration with Saudi Arabia is to enhance both skill development for both nations. We are supposed to be, Indians are supposed to be on the higher ground as far as it is concerned with the chemical part of the deal. And in terms of the petrochemical, of course, the Saudi Arabians help us. You've noted that we have Russian oil in the mix of all of the tariffs and the US weaponizations or sanctions. So this is something that is already on the change. Our Russia stays the #1 supplier of crude oil to India, but we also have the share of US as well as Saudi Arabian, the Middle Eastern supplies going up in terms of the oil market, while Russian share has decreased by a small percentage, I think about 8% in the current analysis that has come down. So what it shows us is that India is putting their strategic interests first. We're looking to for various markets which have been impacted by tariffs, US tariffs. So we are looking for places of growth, cooperation. We're looking at the longer game rather than short-term, bow down vassal state ideologies towards USA. And Saudi Arabia is also looking to grow beyond its identity as a Middle East oil-based nation, and they are also willing to cooperate with India in many fronts, from textiles to petrochemicals. So we are looking for a larger, let's say, growth pattern in terms of more than one industry-based system.
Indeed. In fact, we're also looking at a statement that Donald Trump had put out today, stating that the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, has vowed that India would cease its purchase of Russian oil. Now, the Ministry of External Affairs has reacted to this particular statement that has come out. It stated that India is a significant importer of oil and gas. It's been our priority to safeguard the interests of the Indian consumer, especially when the energy market is really volatile. And as far as the US is concerned, our MEA spokesperson Randir Jaiswal has stated that India has for many years sought to expand its energy procurement and is steadily progressing in that direction over the last decade. In light of all of this, how do you view the statements that Trump has stated, the language, in fact, that he has used?
Oh, I wish I had a decoder for what Trump says from the microphone. Unfortunately, I don't think AI is even able to decode what he wants to present to the world. But what I do understand is that the Russian counterpart has also, ambassador, I believe, has spoken somewhere and said that India's oil purchases always align with its own national interests. Energy security is important for any growing developing nation, and as we all know that India is rushing towards becoming the third largest economy, and so we need to have secure energy supplies. We are a large importer of crude oil, and for that we need to ensure that we provide the best possible deal to our people inside, and hence whichever nation offers us the better deal without impacting this flow, without terrorizing the entire source of energy, we would go with that particular supplier. Now, if US tries to turn off the tap whenever it is unhappy with policies that are happening inside a nation for its people, it is going to lose customers. And Russia is already giving us a large amount of discount. So our policies are inclined to ensure that nobody loses out. The deals with Saudi Arabia, UAE, other nations that India has been making ever since the tariff tantrums have begun from USA shows that we understand that our markets might be facing a little bit of a pinch, but we are a large domestic consumption in market. Although we've been hit by a little by the tariffs, but not by much. Our GDP was predicted at 7.8. Even a recent figure of 6.6 has been offered for us as a future prediction. So tariffs are not really hurting us. We are just making sure that India is no longer looking at USA as its primary market, and we are diversifying. So no matter what Trump says, we are doing what is best for India, and that is exactly what shows through whatever other statements that come out from sources that is beyond Trump 2.0.
Indeed, ma'am. With that, I would like to thank you for taking out time and sharing your perspective with us on NewsX World. With that, viewers, we're shifting